I'm 31 years old. I was brought up in a military background. My dad was a little bit of a pushy guy. He was a bit militant at the time, or at least that's how I perceived it. I grew up fearing my dad for the most part, and it's almost like he took his military background and incorporated it in the family life, and you just can't do that. I think a lot of my insecurities and stuff definitely stem from that, feeling emasculated in some way, feeling inferior, feeling like I didn't achieve what I wanted to in order to impress my dad or my mom, and just eventually having it eat at me. I became consumed from within. I still have a problem with my nose, I'm not going to lie. And my nose and my teeth, as I said before, I had a flu at one point, and the virus didn't just go away, as it often does. Instead, it actually traveled toward my gum line, but it killed the root. Now I have two dead teeth in my mouth, and especially for someone that's aspiring to model or act or something like that, when you have two dead teeth in your mouth, it makes you feel a bit self-conscious. I try not to allow it to hold me back from smiling and showing myself when I'm feeling positive and content. Most people probably wouldn't even believe that I was 31, and oftentimes I'm still carded and so on and so forth. And a lot of people think that that's a blessing. You're thin and you look young and so on, but I always wanted to look like the guys growing up. I didn't even go through my pubescent years till at least 17 years old or something. They were going to give me testosterone boosters because I wasn't eating, and I hated myself. I've always had an irrational fear of vomiting. A lot of people don't even know what emetophobia is, not even doctors themselves, and supposedly it's ranked as the 5th largest fear. And let me tell you, it's quite debilitating. A lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, poor work performance, relationships. They're difficult to develop, keep around. I threw up 18, 19 years ago. Emetophobes have this uncanny ability to control the vomiting center of their brain, because we tend to believe that we're sick all the time, and it's going to amount to vomiting. You can just get a cold or something, and just because you're feeling under the weather, depending on how bad you truly are, you may end up convincing yourself that you're going to vomit, and then you start fighting off this fake nausea that you create yourself, and it's horrible. I think the thing that makes me nervous about vomiting altogether is the fact that it's a feeling, and my dad would remind me, feelings can't hurt you, and yeah, feelings can't hurt you, but I have myself convinced within my head that this feeling is going to stay there and it's never going to go away. Every time that I feel nauseated or something, I wig out. When I was younger, I would try to bang my head consecutively against the wall to knock myself out unconscious, or do something, I did a lot of dissociation and so on whenever the uncomfortable feeling came, and it was kind of like the monster hiding underneath the bed. And I honestly feel it's not until I truly allow myself to experience it again that I'm going to find it's not that same monster that I made it out to be. And it's kind of scary for me to even say that, but it's the truth. And that, for the most part, is at the core of my being, I'd say, and that caused rebellion within me. And then, at the time, I wanted to believe in God, I wanted to believe in something greater than me, but at the same time, here I was suffering and dealing with panic attacks every 15 minutes. I kid you not, I was experiencing panic attacks every 15 minutes for 3 consecutive years, and every night I would have 8 to 10 night terrors. So that eventually led toward my religious conversion, I guess. My mom came into my room. Usually she would tell me to shut the hell up and go back to sleep. And one day she came in a very uncharacteristic way and asked me if I ever accepted Christ into my heart. I said no. So she led me to him that day, and it was the first night I had a full night's rest. I still struggle with these insecurities and stuff from time to time. As I said before, I'll look into a mirror and I want to punch my reflection. Not because it did anything wrong to me, but it's because it's my reflection and I don't like who I am. But I've noticed the more that we focus on the inner power of ourselves, our own souls, our own hearts, and we begin to see the disgust, the loathing, the terror, and we begin to extract that from our lives and change it to something more beautiful, that's when we start seeing true beauty. It's not what we wear on our face, it's not what we have on our bodies, it's what we are able to present to the world as a whole. And in the end, I believe that this is going to be a valuable experience because I'm going to be able to take this and share my success story with those that are in that same bind. I'm Eric, and I'm unbeautiful.